Emulate the taste of like non-chicken nuggets. So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
Oh, that's much better.
Edit all the blather out of your videos because my time is very precious.
Oh, that's fire.
Make it less teal and more
cerulean, sure.
Replace your background with something more fun? The cold void of outer space.
Let's boost that sound quality. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
It needs more style. It needs more clips, more gifs, more.
Well, I might have made it too gnarly.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome everybody. Welcome Ariel and Rock. Happy Halloween first and foremost.
Happy Halloween.
And happy How to Link Your Descript and SquadCast accounts party as well.
It's a special day.
It's a double feature, if you will. Yeah. So I'm Christiana. I work on community here at Descript along with Ariel, and we are joined by Rock. Rock now does all kinds of financy stuff at Descript, but famously a co-founder of SquadCast. Thank you for being here with us, Rock.
Thanks
and
for looping me in.
Ariel. Of course. We're going to jump in here today, but first, check out the poll section. Let us know if you are a Descript user, a Squadcaster, neither or both. We want to hear how familiar you are with our work so far. And also tell us in the chat where you're tuning in from and your favorite Halloween candy, because that's important. What are Ariel, Rock? What are yours?
Thank you so much for asking. Far and away Reese's, and to the point that it's dangerous. I try not to eat them at all because if I do, I will not stop. What about you, Rock?
Funny, it's the exact same for me. And I just saw on my local news station, they did a poll, and by far Reese's was above anything else. So it seems like Reese's is the top dog when it comes to candy. I didn't know that. I thought I was just one of those peanut butter chocolate freaks, but
Look
apparently
at you keeping
I got a few.
local news alive.
Yeah.
Look at me. Yeah. I got to do my part.
Well,
what about you, Christiana?
I'm a Kit Kat loyalist.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
I know it's brave, and I eat them. I don't have a way that I always eat them. Sometimes I'll section them or I'll just bite them. And that's really vulnerable.
It is vulnerable. Again, thank you for feeling comfortable sharing with us.
Of course. I trust everybody
We're
here.
growing together.
Exactly. But enough about me and my vulnerability. Let me share my screen. So you know what to expect from us today. And then we'll jump into our content. Cool. So today we are going to talk about key info that you should know about Descript and SquadCast, what our joining forces means for you and your content. Then we'll walk you through connecting your accounts from Descript to SquadCast, then SquadCast to Descript. So no matter where you are starting off, you can follow along with us and connect your accounts. That's the goal for that everybody at home. If you haven't done this yet, follow along with us so that you'll leave today with full editing and remote recording power at your fingertips. And we'll, of course, also cover what if I use both or neither. We've gotcha. And then Q&A. All of your questions that come up about this or about remote recording in general, we will hit those. If you are watching in SquadCast, whoa.
Scary, SquadCast.
SquadCast and Crowdcast are a little too similar. If you're watching in Crowdcast right now, use the Q&A section for questions. Our support hero, bestie, Zach, is in there helping us out today. And then use the chat for your reactions, commentary, sharing your Halloween candy, etc. If we freeze, refresh your browser. But you can also head over to YouTube. We are streaming there as well. So jump over there if you're having any problems. And on YouTube, I see you there as well. throw your questions in the chat and we'll hit those as well.
We're answering you every once in a while, and very happy to be here. And Christiana, I really love your hair. I just wanted to say.
I love yours. It looks especially vibrant today.
Thank you so much for noticing. And yeah, I just felt like bringing it up because it's important to notice your coworkers, you know?
I thank you for seeing me.
Yeah. And Rock, really great jersey over there.
Yep.
I feel so noticed.
Yep. Just random fun special outfits today. Okay, yes, but also this is recorded, so you can check out our awesome outfits again in the future. And we're going to send it out in a follow-up email. If you want more help, always help.descript.com is your best friend. That's our help center. I'm there every day. And then join our Discord for community support. 16,000 plus folks are in our Discord, which is pretty awesome.
A lot of people.
And we're doing something fun today. Normally we give out like a month of free pro or no discount at all. But today, if you take a squad shot, we can show you how to do that later, or a screenshot of you attending this event and post it and tag us on social in the next 24 hours, letting us know you hooked up your accounts with us today. 3 folks are going to win free Descript Pro for a year, which I don't even know the math on that, but that's a good it's
value. Cash money.
It's cash money, I'd say.
It's like almost $300 if my math is correct. So
I trust you. You're the numbers guy here. So and I'll bring this up again at the end. So don't worry if you're like, wait, what? Don't worry. We got you. And then join us for remote recording office hours. We're doing those every Thursday at noon PT, 3 p.m. ET. Those are on Discord. Ariel's there. Rock's often there. We've got a whole crew there. So come hang out. Cool. Any other housekeeping, or can I jump into asking you two some questions?
Ask away, I believe.
Cool. Okay, well, would you one of you mind just walking us through like what happened a couple months ago? What does Descript and SquadCast joining forces actually mean?
I'll take it, Ariel. Bless you. That's right.
I'm allergic to it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It's really the best thing ever.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So in August of this year, we announced that Descript and SquadCast have joined forces. Now, this has been a partnership long time in the making. When we first talked to the Descript team, it was 2018, and we felt like there's got to be some way for us to partner and work together, not just because we love the team and the people behind it, but of course, the way that the products work. It just felt like a natural fit. And so now we're a part of the same team. Right now it's 2 products, and we'll get into a little bit more about what that means for you all and the benefits with that. But over time, while things are off to a great start, we're very excited with the response that folks have given us to really trulize the full vision. It'll be us morphing into one, and like you're seeing today, where we're all working under Descript, and whether it's awesome editing and transcription using the Descript platform, or you can do remote recording with SquadCast. We got it all for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rock. And so what does that mean for like how much money we're paying here? Like now Descriptors get remote recording for free, right?
Yeah, no trick or treating here. This is all facts. You get the access to 2 amazing products for the price of 1 subscription. So if you are subscribed to Descript, you get SquadCast remote recording for free. And it still blows my mind, but it is an absolute true thing. So yeah, huge benefit for creators everywhere.
Totally. And then Ariel, what does it mean if you're a SquadCaster and now suddenly you get access to Descript? What does that mean subscription wise?
If you are a SquadCaster and you would like to use Descript, now you basically can just pay for Descript. So maybe you are a SquadCaster and a Descript user, but you're not using Descript all the time. Maybe now you might want to make Descript your #1 editor, just because it'll all be bundled up into one price. You'll just be paying for Descript at this point. And I see some folks in the chat who are asking questions. Maybe they use Zoom to record their podcast, or maybe they use Riverside, or maybe they use Zencaster. If you are a Descript user, now you have access to SquadCast for free. So you do not need to be paying for other services. It is all wrapped up into one price, and that's the Descript price.
Totally. Yes. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, Rock, but almost everyone, that price is going to be cheaper than what you were paying for before for just SquadCast. Is that right?
I'm so glad you brought that up because SquadCast customers really have nothing to lose except for maybe paying a little bit less money on their subscription by making the transition over to a Descript plan. You're almost always going to pay less and get the same, if not more, in addition to, of course, Descript. But what I meant specifically is what you get from your SquadCast subscription by resubscribing to Descript only. And then, yeah, if you're a Descript customer and are remote recording in other ways or not, you really have nothing to lose by checking SquadCast out.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a question in the chat that came up. Do you need to set up a SquadCast account or can you just use your Descript account? And Rock, you talked a little bit about phase 1 versus phase 2. And right now in phase 1, you do need 2 different accounts. And that's exactly what we're showing you today is how to link those things.
Great question, because that's what we're here to cover.
Yep. So you can follow along with us and you'll leave today in, 50 minutes ready to do this thing. So awesome. Cool. And then remote recording is what SquadCast does. Ariel, could you walk us through what that is exactly for those of us who aren't familiar with it thus far?
Yeah, remote recording really took off during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, people were recording podcasts both in person and remotely. But of course, at the start of the pandemic, a lot of people had to shift their recording to online. So platforms like Zoom and SquadCast really took off for remote recording. Of course, we know Zoom as a conferencing app that has a remote recording component, and SquadCast is made for remote recording. So what we're talking about when we discuss remote recording is the act of recording a conversation between 2 people or up to 10 people in a session on SquadCast, and then getting those files, and those files will be separate, and you can get audio and video, and you can edit them however you please. We recommend, of course, doing that in Descript, but the way SquadCast works is that you are not recording over an internet connection like you are on Zoom. So sometimes when you're on Zoom, if there's low bandwidth or the internet is not so great, you might hear some glitchy internet noises. But with SquadCast, that you might hear those noises in your conversation, but when you get your files downloaded, both audio and video, they will be crystal clear and they'll be good to go for all of your editing purposes. And then we can't wait to hear and see what you make from remote recording with SquadCast and editing in Descript. Does that answer your question?
That you nailed it. Yes.
Hell
yeah. And it's a good time to also plug that 2 weeks ago, Ariel and Rock did a SquadCast 101 session where they covered all this stuff in detail. So head to our YouTube and check out that recording. And Ariel also did an event on remote recording best practices with our friend Ashley Hamer, also on the Descript team. I learned a ton from watching that session. So check that out.
I'm going to go grab some links and put them in the chat as well.
Perfect. Cool. And while you do that, just a reminder, folks, that our friend Zach from our support team is in the Q&A section on Crowdcast. So throw your questions in there and he will get those answered for you. And we'll also hit some at the end during Q&A. Cool. Okay, great. Well, I think it's time for us to jump into the demos. But before we do that, Rock, anything else we should keep in mind for this process, just in general best practices?
Absolutely. So with Descript, you may have multiple drives. And so when we're walking through this workflow on how to connect your accounts, that's one thing you're going to want to keep in mind is that you're selecting the right drive when connecting your accounts. Now, what's great is you can connect all of your drives to SquadCast to record remotely. But just when you are setting it up to make sure things are linked correctly. That's one thing that we're going to want to keep in mind and highlight here. Additionally, if you are like a team member, and there's like multiple accounts within your Descript drive, the drive owner is going to be the one that's able to connect those accounts. So if you are running into trouble trying to connect the accounts, both apps do a good job of communicating this to you. And I believe it even like literally says you need to have the drive owner make this change.
Right.
But that's another thing that we just want to call out and bring attention to.
Totally. Cool. Perfect. Yeah, we might even run into that little pop-up as we go here. So
Sometimes that's a good thing for these examples.
totally. Yes. Yes. Great. And so we'll jump in. Oh, interesting. Someone in the chat said, "Hey, all, is Ariel trying to be Ariel in Little Mermaid?" I wonder why they would say that.
I'm not even sure what they're referring to, actually.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
It's a whole new world.
Shout out to Jay, though, because Jay's a great SquadCaster and a Descript user, and
Yep.
we really
Shout out, Jay.
appreciate all that he does for the community. But I have no idea what he's talking about.
No clue. Perfect. Okay, great. Well, let's jump into the Descript to SquadCast workflow, if that works for y'all.
Perfect.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again here. Sweet. So I am in the web version of Descript. A few months ago now, we launched this. We used to just be a desktop or an app, and now we also have this web browser option, which is super great. This will be the same exact workflow in the app or the web. So even if you're using the app right now, you'll do the same exact thing. So if you're a Descriptor, follow along with me here. Rock is going to be my guide, and we're gonna try this out. Oh, so interesting. You can see my little picture here. I have my same hairdo. Wow, what a coincidence. Okay, great. So I know we have to head over. This is the Descript drive, first of all. And we want to go over to my settings. So I'm going to click my little picture here. Hit settings. And then, Rock, I got to head to subscription. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
Cool. And then right there, it just says connect to SquadCast. So I'm going to hit that button. And it just will automatically redirect me. Okay, cool. So now I sign up for an account, right?
That's correct.
Sweet. Nothing more vulnerable than
just to reiterate for folks who might be joining us late, we are currently showing what it looks like to connect your existing Descript account to the SquadCast account that you will make, because SquadCast is now free if you have a Descript account. So Christiana is walking us through that process.
Perfect. Thank you. So just signing up here. I'm going to agree to the terms. Oh, that's tough. Okay, let's try that again. Can hear my click clacks.
And just to answer a question that we had pop up, do you have to connect to SquadCast every time? The answer is no. You just have to connect once and you will be good to go from there. So this event really should be outdated for everybody after you watch it and then connect your accounts.
Exactly. So it's a one and done situation. So great. I just signed up. I made my SquadCast account, and this is the pop-up I get. You're getting remote recording for free. Shows me this whole pop-up about what that deal means for me. Getting remote recording up to 10 people, main and backstage participants, and of course, high quality local recordings. Brock, this is what we were talking about here, the Descript drive. But since I'm the account owner, I don't have to do anything special here. Is that right?
That's correct. And another thing we should call out is like Descript Drive is synonymous with SquadCast organization. That's kind of how the accounts are structured. So for Descript, we call it a drive, and for SquadCast, we call it an organization. This is where having two products that have been operating for a bit can be a little bit confusing, but as we further integrate, it'll be much more simplified. But yeah, this is what we wanted to call out, is that you're making sure that you're linking the correct drives, just so that when you log into Descript and are looking for your remote recorded files on SquadCast, that you know that they're there because you linked up the correct drive.
Exactly. Cool. Okay.
And Christiana, do you mind if I bring a question up on the screen that I believe now would be a good time to answer?
Totally. Hit it.
All right. We've got a question that says, does it matter if you're in Descript Classic versus the new Descript interface? And of course, that is in spooky font for those wondering.
Absolutely. That's a great question. Brock, do you know the answer to that?
Well, my understanding is that Classic is no longer accessible, or it's going to be going away. So I would imagine that it does matter that you'll probably want to stick to the new Descript interface.
Totally. Yeah. If you've never made a new storyboard, aka storyboard project with Descript, I don't think that means you cannot connect your accounts, but we did sunset Descript Classic, which means you can't make any new Descript Classic projects. And the way that this integration works is you record in SquadCast and it creates a Descript project for you. All of those will automatically be in the new version of Descript. So that should answer your question. It won't turn into a classic project. And just in general, all of the new updates, making sure that SquadCast and Descript play well together will be in that new version of Descript. So highly recommend making that switch if you haven't already done that.
Christiana, we had a question from Sylvia who says, I'm in settings. Where should I go in Descript? Do you mind just showing us one more time from the Descript page where to go to connect your accounts initially?
Absolutely. Let me head back there really quick.
Spooky Google image.
Yeah, everything's spooky. Okay, cool. So you hit your little icon here, head to settings, hit subscription, and then you're going to hit connect to SquadCast.
Boom.
And that will open up a new window, a new page for you to make a SquadCast account and then connect. And that's where we are now. Cool.
All right. A few more questions that are relevant here, and then I know we want to show the other side of things too.
I gotta redeem my offer, of course.
Don't forget to click that button.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. Let's do that. Let's redeem. Let's redeem.
Redeem first and then hit the question.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Moment of truth. Please wait while we load your data. This should only take a moment. Claiming my drive. That feels so empowering, you know?
You're so empowered.
Really claiming it.
Stake your claim, you know?
That's what my internet claim.
It's your little corner of the internet. The question that we're going to tackle after this is, I connected my SquadCast and my Descript and SquadCast accounts, but can never find my way back into SquadCast. I have a few tips and tricks for you, question asker, that we will get to shortly.
Honestly, you feel free to take that question while this loads.
Okay, great. So you have connected your Descript and SquadCast accounts, but you can't figure out how to get back into SquadCast. There are a few options for you. First, you can always go to squadcast.fm and log in that way. Another way is to go to your Descript account, and instead of when you press the button on the top right to create an audio project or a video project, you can also click the button that says remote recording, and that'll take you right to SquadCast.
Awesome.
Rock, Christiana, anything to add to that?
No, that was exactly how I was going after it. So that's great.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. And it looks like Kathy is having a similar experience to you, Christiana. My computer has been claiming your drive for some time now, which it seems like is happening with you as well.
Yeah, I think that it might just take a little bit longer than we're expecting here.
Yeah, I think especially depending on how many files are in that drive and how much connecting power needs to be utilized.
Yeah, and also it's, it cannot be understated that I am also streaming right now. So my computer's gears are whirling. But we have successfully connected here. It's just waiting to make that final shaking of the hands. And so if you follow the steps that we just did, you will connect your accounts and you'll be good to go. So yeah, and then I think from here, it would just pop you into your SquadCast studio. And then your accounts are officially connected. So
we love to see it.
That's that. I think we can move on from here because I just, we might be waiting a while, and I want to
for a bit.
Yeah, I want to make sure we hit your parts as well here, Ariel. But any other questions I could answer?
Yes, there are a few that have popped up. This next question is, if you record in Descript, is it automatically recorded in SquadCast?
So I believe the answer to that is no. So before we we joined forces with SquadCast, you could record in Descript, but it was not equipped for having multiple people recording together over an internet connection. It was like just you recording right into your project. And right now you can still do that, but it stays in Descript. And so, no, it won't jump over to SquadCast, but anything you record in SquadCast, you can move over to Descript.
Awesome. Yeah, it's sort of the opposite is true.
Yep, exactly.
But that is a great question, and thank you for asking. We've got another question here. Do you need to set up a SquadCast account, or can you just use your Descript account?
Yeah, so I only set up that SquadCast account because it prompted me through that workflow. So right now you do need to have both, but you'll start at your Descript account, go through that workflow, you'll make one. So you don't have to like go to SquadCast's website and do it separately. Just follow this pathway from Descript to SquadCast and make an account that way. And then essentially what happens then is it just becomes a Descript account. You'll be billed by Descript. That's how you'll manage everything. And yeah, that's just sort of like the back wiring that we have right now. And like we said, in the future, it'll all just be one account.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And just a reminder that if you have questions, we are going to try to answer them throughout our conversation today. In a minute, we're going to switch gears and show you the process of when you have a SquadCast account, how you create your Descript account. But if we do not get to your question, your individual question, there are a few ways to get in touch with us. First, we have remote recording office hours every Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Discord. And you can join that by going to discord.gg/Descript. And we also have a very robust help center. That's help.descript.com.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Cool. Okay.
Ready?
I think it's time to pass it over to you. Thanks, Rock, for the help, and Ariel for saucing those questions. So now let's how about SquadCast to Descript?
How about it? Okay. Welcome to SquadCast.fm. I'm going to show you the process of when you're a SquadCaster, how do you also become a Descript user? So I am now going to SquadCast.fm, and I'm going to log into my account. And I'm going to choose the account that I know is not already connected to Descript. Oops. And I'm going to log into that. Once I've logged in, it'll take me to my dashboard, and you'll see all that I've got over here. If you're new to SquadCast, welcome. This is your dashboard. And quick little overview. If you wanted to start a session right now, you just click New Session. You can also have different shows on your account, and you can see all of the media that you've already recorded to the right side of your screen. But you can see blaring at the top of the screen that I have not yet connected my account to Descript. So what I want to do now is connect to Descript. It will then take me to a page where I can connect my account at no extra cost. So let's do that. And we're going to get redirected to SquadCast. And then we want to make sure that we are linking up the drives in the right way. So I have chosen to, here, so it says, please contact the owner of Ariel Studio to get added as a member. This is a situation that you might be running into if there are multiple users on your SquadCast account. So if I wanted to do that, I can return to Descript and I can change my drive. And it looks like now, because nissenblatt@gmail.com already is technically connected to Descript, I am running into a situation that is actually kind of a good thing for our purposes, but not for the purposes of actually showing off what we're doing here. So I will stop sharing my screen and we can just sort of talk through the situation here, which is that bottom line is you're going to log into your existing SquadCast account and you are going to press the button at the top that says to connect your accounts. And most likely you will not have the issue that I had because you are probably an individual creator, or if you're not, you're probably the owner of both drives. And if you're not, that's an instance for you to get in touch with us to discuss an individual situation so that we can clarify that for you.
One thing I want to note is Corey Gordon in the chat said, I connected to SquadCast and it only took 3 seconds. So there you go. Great work, Corey. Thanks for letting us know. And I'm glad you were able to connect them up.
Shout out Corey on YouTube.
There it is.
Awesome.
Graphics.
Sweet. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So it's really as simple as that. Anything else from the SquadCast to Descript side, Rock, we want to note, or it's kind of the same thing, just backwards. You just make an account. And
Very
that's
true.
that.
Very true. Yeah. And we do have detailed articles that can help walk you through and provide links so you don't have to go searching for this stuff. You can actually just click the links that are in those articles and it'll take you to the various settings pages that you need to connect your accounts to, but also those banners, as Ariel showed in SquadCast. It's pretty obvious and hard to miss if you're looking for it.
Yep.
And the examples that you two showed were for if you have a Descript account but don't have a SquadCast account yet, and then vice versa if you have a SquadCast account but no Descript account yet. And but if you do have subscriptions to both platforms, using the workflow that either of those two just walked us through will work. And then you similarly will just log in instead of creating a new account. So if you're starting on Descript, you're going to log in to your SquadCast account. And if you're on SquadCast, you're going to log into your Descript account. And then the workflow is very similar. You're going to make sure you're selecting the right drive for Descript, the right organization for SquadCast, and redeem the offer. Don't forget to hit that redeem offer button. But it's very similar. And Descript will do all of the work to essentially remove your SquadCast subscription. Make sure that the Descript subscription is the only thing that you are currently active and will be getting billed for. So you no longer have to pay for 2 subscriptions.
And Rock, what happens if you are neither a SquadCaster or a Descript user? Jeff has this question. Can you walk through creating a new account for both if the user starts on the SquadCast side? And I think I would say you can start on the SquadCast side, but I think it is easier at this point to go through Descript. Rock, do you want to add anything to that?
I mean, if you do start on the SquadCast side, I'm pretty sure we redirect you to create a Descript subscription. But yeah, maybe it's a few clicks more. But it's just as simple as creating a new account for any type of subscription platform. Provide your email, a password, what subscription you want, maybe a few other details, but not much more, and you're good to go. And the only thing you will need to do in addition to creating your Descript account is creating a SquadCast account, like as Christiana showed. Is my videos frozen? Oh no, I'm back.
No, you're
back.
Those bubbles froze me.
Nope. Yep. You're back. Cool. Yeah. That makes sense. Also, my accounts did get connected. Should I share my screen really quick?
Yeah, let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, prove it.
Yeah, prove it. Pixar didn't happen.
And that reminds me that if you want a shot at winning 1 free year of Descript Pro, take a screenshot of us right now. We'll smile for you.
Yep. Here. Oh yeah.
Post it on social and make sure to tag us at SquadCast FM and at Descript app if you're on Twitter. Yep. And we'll smile now. Okay. Hope you took a picture during that time. We will give you another option. Yes. And if you post on social, we are going to be choosing 3 people to win Descript Pro for a year. Is that right, Christiana? Is it possible that that's what we're doing?
That's right. 3 people are going to win free Descript for a year, which also obviously means free SquadCast for a year. But you already knew that.
You already knew that.
Because SquadCast is free with Descript.
Anyway, wow.
Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, cool. So yes, I just waited a little bit longer. And this is where I ended up. So this is now my what section of this is this? My studio?
This is your dashboard.
It's my dashboard. Oh yeah.
So this is essentially what we were looking at on my screen before, but I was in dark mode, and yours is completely blank. So the possibilities are endless.
Yep.
So you can from here you can establish your show. You could start a session, and you can invite team members to your account. A whole bunch of different things.
Yep. Cool. So Sylvia, I know you were going through the same thing. If anybody was waiting, I think I might have even hit refresh and it did the trick, and I got a little pop-up down here that said your accounts have been linked. So give that a try. And if you run into any issues, follow up with us with our support team, and we'll give you some help there. And someone asked in the chat, what handles do we attach? Yeah, I think on Twitter we're at Descript app. Yes.
I think if you start typing in Descript, you will be able to see us popping up over there.
You can't miss us. So tell us you came, and you'll have a chance to win.
I guess it's important for us to say there are about 30 of you watching live right now, so there will be people who might watch this later. Christiana, how will we determine if those folks are eligible to win?
Yeah, so it's in the next 24 hours. You got to post and tell us. Yes, from now after this event. So we'll say noon PT till noon PT tomorrow. Cool.
Okay. But we'll have more opportunities like this.
For sure. Yes. We're always doing, we also on our Discord channel, we give out free prizes every month for folks that share what they've made with Descript and SquadCast. So definitely join our Discord community. I'm going to pull that up here. You can scan that and you'll join. And yeah, we've given out like tripods and webcams and all kinds of cool stuff. Descript swag. So come hang out.
Looks like we also have some SquadCast general questions. Would now be a good time to get to those?
Yeah, I feel like we anything else, Rock, you want to hit before we jump into Q&A on terms of connecting accounts or anything like that?
I don't think so, but we'd love to hear how it's going with folks. We love helping people record remotely and getting them high quality recordings that look and sound like it was recorded right in front of you in a studio. So let us know how it goes. Let us know if you're running into any trouble, hiccups, or any ideas on how this could be better. We're still got plenty of work to do, like I said earlier, to realize the full vision of what we're trying to accomplish here. So a lot of work to be done, but we're still pretty excited and proud of what we gotten so far. But yeah, let's get to those remote recording questions.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. So Rock, because you are the remote recording expert here, does SquadCast work on both PC and Mac?
It sure does, and it works on all sorts of devices. So it's designed intentionally to kind of endure as many situations and as many devices and equipment as possible. You do need a somewhat strong internet connection to have the real-time conversation with folks. Now, the recording quality and reliability is separate from that, and I encourage you to check out the Remote Recording 101 session that we mentioned earlier for more information on that. But it works on all devices, so Mac, PC, works on stuff like a Chromebook, which is incredible because those are pretty lightweight devices. But then you can also use iPad, iPhone, all accessible through browsers. And it looks like we have a question on browsers. So that leads me right into answering this next question, which is, what are the browsers that SquadCast works on? So historically, we've always worked on Chrome, but now we work on pretty much all of the major ones. So that includes Safari, Microsoft Edge, Firefox. I will say, though, that I do tend to use Chrome the most. It typically has the most reliable results according to our data, but that's not to say that you can't have an amazing experience using all of those other browsers that I mentioned, and plenty of folks do.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Rock. We've got another question that I have not actually seen yet, so I love this question. Is there another way to get SquadCast without Descript?
That is a good question. So if you are a new subscriber, you will be subscribed to Descript in order to get access to SquadCast. Now, however, you are not obligated to use Descript if you want to use SquadCast, and also the reverse is true. But you will need to have a subscription to Descript in order to get access to SquadCast. So, but again, you don't have to use it.
You don't have to use it. And I also believe that the price is comparable to what you would have paid just for SquadCast. Right, Rock?
It's comparable, if not better. So like the pro plan for Descript is $30 a month if you decide to pay monthly. For SquadCast, for the similar tier, the middle tier, the pro tier for us was around $45, something like that. So yeah, you're definitely saving money. And I think you actually get like more recording time, more transcription time. I mean, you just get more with it. So it's a heck of a deal.
even if you're just using Descript for transcriptions, even if you're just bringing them into SquadCast, even if you're just bringing in your SquadCast recordings to Descript to get the transcriptions and then be done, that's what I usually recommend doing if people don't really want to use Descript for their editing, and you want to make it feel like it's worth it for you to have a subscription to Descript. Transcriptions are a great way to make your podcast more accessible and to potentially boost the SEO on your website.
Awesome.
All right, Rock, question for you about resolution limitations. What you got?
So SquadCast records in now up to 4K. That's a recent addition since the Descript and SquadCast acquisition announcement. But you can also record into 1080p, 720p. 720p is the default setting because most folks are still recording when recording video. They're using like their built-in laptop devices, which typically record or have 720p resolution. You can adjust your settings on SquadCast to record in up to 4K, like I mentioned, or you can set it to 1080p as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I can provide a doc on that because there's actually plenty of good information.
We can grab that.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, that's okay. Jeff C is also wondering, is Chrome the only browser that provides lossless audio?
Nope. They all do. They all work the same. I mean, there's little quirks here and there between the browsers, but it does not impact the recording quality, the recording experience. So yeah, there's no differences. They're all going to work great.
Awesome.
I've got a question here that I'm gonna hit really quick because it's a good one. Someone wrote, my account still shows up as connect to SquadCast. So they're in Descript and they're still seeing that connect to SquadCast prompt under in their Descript account. Can you go over linking accounts again or share a link to it, please? So you still did it and you're done. Your accounts are connected. It's actually good feedback that that's a confusing UI because it makes you feel like you haven't done it yet, but you have. You just have to go through that process once. And now when you hit connect to SquadCast, it'll just open SquadCast for you. It'll just open your studio. So don't worry about that. You're good. And we will bring that feedback back that's a little bit confusing because I practiced this yesterday and I was also confused. So I'm right there with you. And yeah, but you're all good. It'll just jump you over to your dashboard.
What did you find confusing, Christiana? Just out of curiosity.
I just also thought, I was like, oh, did I not connect them? Because it's saying, like, I would expect it to say, like, you're connected or open
Right.
SquadCast. So yeah, totally empathize with that confusion. And yeah, we'll bring that back to our team. Cool.
We've got a lot of questions. Just to kind of check in with folks, we've got about 15 minutes left. We'll answer as many questions as we can. And then we've got a lot of opportunities for you to stay in touch with us. We've got office hours every Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern for remote recording specifically. And then Christiana, when are our general Descript office hours? I don't know off the top of my head.
Yes, every Wednesday, our friend Marcelo hosts office hours. Those are at 1 p.m. PT, 4 p.m. ET, also on our Discord server.
Awesome.
So I'll throw that QR code up again so folks know where to find us.
Scan that QR code. We'd love to see you on the Discord. There are 16,000 plus people there. And we'd love to have you there as well. Mm-hmm. And now feels like another time to remind you to take a screenshot of us right now so that you can post it on social, so that you can tag us at SquadCast FM and at Descript app, so that you can be entered for a chance to win 1 free year of Descript Pro.
Yes. Take that screenshot. Yeah, here, I'll share my screen really quick. These are the details. So 1 free Descript for a year. Take that screenshot, as Ariel just said, or get into SquadCast and take a squad shot telling us that you were here, and we'll enter you to win. So screenshot this if you need the details. Cool.
We've got some more questions coming up.
Let's hit on.
This question is, if an external camera with 4K resolution is used, is the resolution limited by the internal laptop resolution, or will the image be captured at 4K?
I could jump in.
Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead.
Yep. So it will be a couple things that you need to have selected for your settings for this to work out properly. So first, you need to have SquadCast enabled to record in 4K on your settings. But then additionally to that, you'll need to have the device in SquadCast selected to your 4K camera. Now, that's all pretty easy to identify and shouldn't be too tricky to figure out. But those are the two steps that you'll need to take. But it's a great question because I think sometimes people think that, oh, just because this platform offers the capability to record in 4K, if you are limited by the what your devices can handle. So it is a great question and something to keep in mind. But it sounds like you got all the equipment needed to make it happen. Just got to make sure the settings are correctly selected.
Awesome. Thank you, Rock. And thank you for that question. We love to see folks playing around with 4K video and SquadCast. It's really nice to see those videos on YouTube. I was recently interviewed on a podcast, and I don't have a fancy camera, and the person who interviewed me did, and it was like I was living in the Stone Age, and she was like crystal clear. All right.
It makes a difference.
Next question. I have one Descript account and one SquadCast account that manages/owns multiple SquadCast organizations. What am I supposed to do?
That is a good question. I mean, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're linking the correct organization to the correct drive. I'm not sure if you'll want to have different Descript drives as well, but that's certainly a possibility. Yeah, it really just depends on how separate you're trying to keep things, or if you're trying to consolidate things. It sounds like things are a little bit more separate on the SquadCast side, which is great. And so, yeah, I'm just not sure if you want to keep it all in one Descript account or not, but the option's certainly yours. But when connecting, you can definitely connect multiple accounts on SquadCast to a drive on SquadCast.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rock.
Ariel, can I sauce one your way?
Please.
So a couple times, and it maybe was my I accidentally called like SquadCast crowd squash or something earlier. But can you explain? A lot of times we see folks asking if you can use SquadCast to live stream. Someone just asked, "Are you using SquadCast right now for this session?" And we're not. We're using Restream and Crowdcast. But could you explain how many folks can like join a SquadCast session and that sort of thing?
Yeah, SquadCast is a remote recording app and currently does not have streaming capabilities and does not have plans for streaming capabilities as far as I know. However, you can have up to 10 people in a session. So say you like to record with maybe one co-host and a guest, maybe a few people in the session. You still have a few more opportunities if you wanted to offer a backstage experience to some folks, if you wanted to have them in viewing your session. Rock, we were at one point making backstage possible. How many people would be able to join in a backstage situation like that?
Yeah, so that's more of like a private live streaming experience, which I still think is can be pretty interesting and useful depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Most folks, when they think of live stream, though, it's broadcasted out as wide as possible. So you want to be on like, I don't know, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, if that's even still a thing as far as the live streaming goes. But yeah, this is great for like if you have team members that want to participate in a recording session on SquadCast, but don't need to be on mic or on camera, don't need to have files recorded and generated. But also you can invite folks that just want to view the session. So maybe these are like super fans or just like some private, intimate access, see the sausage getting made, so to speak. I don't know if anybody wants to do that, but we have heard of some folks that do, and there's different ways to just offer your fans a more unique way to consume your content. And so it is up to 10. That was the question, right? How many people? I went off on something else, but I just felt like
how many people? And the question really was, is SquadCast live streaming, and are we using it right now? And the answer is no. And And as far as I know, no plans to do so. So folks still do use StreamYard if they need to be live streaming. We're currently using Restream, which we like a lot, gives us a lot of capabilities. But we really like to prioritize the in-app recording experience so that you can do what you want with that video and audio, and you're really just getting the highest quality raw audio and video. I love this next question. SquadCast has an option to maximize recording quality. Why would I not want to do this?
Ariel, I was going to say, how can you not like all of these questions? But then I see this one and I say,
you get it.
I love it.
So yeah, how do you approach this, Rock?
Why would you not? Oh, I thought it was more rhetorical. Like, why would you not do this?
I think what they're saying is, if you could get the highest quality recording, why would you not do that? And I think this is a trade-off kind of question. Bandwidth definitely comes into play. You want to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. So why is Yeah, I don't know why you would not want. Well, okay, so you're saying bandwidth. Yeah, sometimes there's environments like if you're recording with somebody who doesn't have the strongest internet connection or has bandwidth limitations, especially if you're recording video, 4K video. There's a lot going on in the background that SquadCast is doing beneath the scenes to make sure that the experience is as smooth and reliable as possible, and that once you hit stop, that those files are ready and they look amazing. They look and sound amazing to you. But yeah, maybe there are situations where getting the content is more important than making sure it's the highest quality possible. So SquadCast does offer ways to navigate those situations, whether it's communicating like things like, hey, it looks like your internet is struggling. Try these things, as well as like communicating how the files are sounding or looking and sounding, so you can like play them back as in real time as you're recording. This is a great way to just ensure that what you're seeing and hearing will look and sound within your expectations, because there's nothing worse than like just being done with like an hour plus long recording, go to check out your files and someone maybe was recording through the wrong microphone, or something wacky happened with the video recording. That's just the worst possible. So there's definitely ways to navigate it. There's a few buttons within SquadCast, such as turning your camera off, like hiding it. It will still record the video from everybody, but you just won't see it in the real-time conversation. That's just one of the ways that we offer folks to handle more uncertain situations, but still ensure that you get your recordings and they look and sound as spectacular as you want them to be.
Love it.
Cool.
Sorry, it took me a little bit to understand that one.
No.
I genuinely thought they're like, what's not to love about this?
It's really hard to read sarcasm over the internet.
Right. I wish like texts could come with tone,
Yeah.
said sarcastically.
Read.
Yeah. Okay, we've got just about 7 minutes left, so I'm gonna rapid fire some at y'all real quick. We touched on this briefly earlier, but Ariel, could you underline why you would use SquadCast over something like Zoom again?
Yes, SquadCast is a dedicated remote recording platform, meaning that we prioritize the recording. Unlike Zoom, which has remote recording, it has a recording capability, but it prioritizes the conferencing aspect. So when you are serious about your audio and video recording quality, you really do want to be using a product that is prioritizing that for you. And SquadCast will do that. It records the sections of your conversation that are happening on their sides rather than recording the internet connection that is bringing them together. So you're not going to get those glitchy internet sounds, and it's not going to sound like a Zoom interview. So SquadCast is the way to go.
Absolutely. And someone in the chat said, sometimes it'll say it was recording when it really wasn't, and you have to redo it. So that you want to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
And then someone just threw this in the chat. Rock, do you want to take this one? Any big differences between SquadCast and Riverside? You're always pretty eloquent when you answer this question. If you wanna hit on that real quick.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's not the easiest one to answer because I really do relate to them in the sense that we're really trying to accomplish a problem that may not seem as difficult on the surface. On the surface, it's like you're just recording files for people, but there's a lot going on. So I can totally relate to the struggle that Riverside is probably dealing with. Rather, excuse me, a little tongue tied, because it is not an easy thing to do to
Nope.
record and move around these large files and ensure that they look and sound amazing, that they line up properly so that whenever you take them to the next part of your workflow, whether it's editing or chopping it up for like social media clips and stuff like that, that you're not having to fix anything or that you actually get what you expect to get. I will say, though, that SquadCast has been innovators in the space. We weren't the first remote recording platform, but I do think we've pushed things forward to make what's now expected in a remote recording platform. So things like local recording, but additionally offering cloud recordings or backup files just as that extra layer of security. If and when something terrible does happen, that you're never without your recording files. You're always going to get some. Thankfully, you don't really have to rely on, or you shouldn't have to rely on those backup files very much.
Yep.
But they're always there if you're in a pinch. And that's one thing that SquadCast introduced. In addition to our recording and uploading technology that we call progressive uploads, that is a patented part of the SquadCast recording engine, something we're very proud of and honestly never expected to accomplish while on this journey. But it's one of those, it's a feather in our cap, if you will. And that really makes the recording experience as seamless and reliable as possible. Also very quick and secure. So you're not having to wait around very long. Because again, these are giant files with like 4K video, wave audio mixed in. Like there's again a lot going on, and so the progressive uploads feature helps us ensure that those files are available shortly after you hit stop on the recording file. Finally, our other patent that we have is we remove any occurrence of audio drift happening in the files. Now, the downside of recording files separate and locally, the way that SquadCast and other services like Riverside do, the downside could be that when you go to line those files up in your editing software of choice, now we hope it's Descript, they can be out of sync. And this is totally fixable in any typical editing platform, but it does take time. Doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily how we want to spend time. So thankfully, SquadCast, that's something that you don't have to worry about, that everything's going to line up and you can add value, not fix something that should have never occurred to begin with. So those are just a few of the differences, but I think what it all boils down to is this is a team that's been dedicated on this problem space, finding out solutions for over 7 years now. And that's a tough thing to beat.
Absolutely.
Rock, you crush that answer every time.
You always do. You always do.
That makes me feel so good.
And I'm
7 years of answering stuff like that, though. You better get good.
Exactly. Yeah. And I would be remiss to not also mention that like now this added benefit is that like Descript and SquadCast have combined resources, and Descript's been in the editing game since the end of 2017, and just like it feels like this combining of forces was like a match made in heaven, and just getting to do so much of your content creation workflow in one tool for one price is just it's pretty awesome. And I know we only have a couple minutes left here. So, Ariel, I wanted to ask you this last one. I'm thinking about that question that someone asked. Can I still access just SquadCast? Could I just use SquadCast? And I know you recently switched over to doing most of your editing, maybe all of your editing in Descript. Yeah. So could you like maybe talk about a highlight of your experience of like becoming a new Descript user and like sort of like what you would why you would recommend getting started with it?
Yeah, I do everything in Descript now. And I host a podcast about podcast recommendations. And I was previously recording on Audacity and then going through my recordings, cutting out my ums and ahs.
Yeah.
A 17-minute recording was taking me about an hour to edit. And then I still had to pass it off to my post-production engineer who levels it, masters it, and then puts on the intro and the outro. Now I record right into Descript because it's a solo podcast. I don't use SquadCast for this podcast. I use SquadCast for another podcast. For this podcast, I record right into Descript and I edit right in Descript. So a 17-ish minute recording takes me about double that to edit. It's really like I'm cutting my entire production process down a whole lot, and I'm able to mix and master it by myself. I just send it off to my post-production engineer to put on the intro and outro and add some music in at this point. But in theory, I could do that all by myself. I keep him around because I love him. He's one of the best audio engineers in the biz. Daniel Turek, shout out to you.
Cool.
But other than that, I really could do everything on my own.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you for asking. Happy to sing the praises all the time.
Oh, that's what we're here for. We're biased, but we actually do believe it.
James says that we have beautiful smiles, and that is super kind.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it. Just, I think it really, our hair accentuates it as well.
Accentuates.
Yep. And Rock's number 8 on his hockey jersey. Before we let y'all go, I just want to reiterate this one last time. As a thank you for joining us, we're doing this raffle. If you watched this today and connected your accounts, either take a squad shot in SquadCast or screenshot that you were here and you watched with us. I've already seen some come through, which is awesome on Twitter. I saw like Corey already posted, Douglas, let's go. Fun with Bells. Kathy, thank you so much for being here and already doing that. So low numbers means there's a really good chance that you could.
If 3 of you do it, then 3 of you are winning.
Exactly. So yes, post this up, and in the next 24 hours, you have 24 hours to do that, and then we're just going to randomly pick 3 people to win Descript Pro for a year. So that's pretty awesome. If you have any troubles or you need some more help, please reach out to us. help.descript.com. You can submit a ticket to our team. You also tweet at us. I can try and help you out there. But yeah, check out this replay. Watch it and go through the steps again. And yes, the replay is up on YouTube. And
we've got office hours, a lot of them. So go to our Discord and join us for office hours.
Yes, please do. Remote recording office hours are on Thursday. Join us there. I hope everybody has an awesome day. If you're celebrating Halloween, happy Halloween. Go eat some Reese's. Rock and Ariel, thank you so much for being here today. And we will see you all next time. And thank you, Zach, for holding it down in the Q&A.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah,
our hero.
shout out.
Crushed it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Christiana, for organizing.
Of course.
Yeah, y'all are the best. Thanks for looping me into this. Sorry I forgot my wig and I didn't have much else to contribute, but
hey, what wig?
I'm just blessed to be in your pit. Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh, my
Should we
bad.
do a reveal? No, I'm just kidding. No, come to our next. This is a good way for us to get people to come to our next event, Ariel. They can see if this is our real hair.
That's true. Yes.
So
come back around.
Yep.
Suspense.
Suspense. All right. And on that cliffhanger, thank you all again. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.